evening and welcome to Williamsburg Raider Basketball on the Williamsburg YouTube channel. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thank you for taking some time for Williamsburg Raider Basketball. My name is Robert Shapansky. We also have Kaya Tegetts on the video board and Robbie Allison and Cooper Bott doing stats. Tonight we have the Raider boys in the first round of the Class 3A state playoffs. The Raiders are in District 7 as the 3rd seed and are hosting the 6th seed of Benton Bobcats, who are 7-14 on the season, 7-8 in the WAMAC. The number 1 seed is the Waverly Shellrock GoHawks of the Northeast Iowa Conference, who are playing the 8th seed South Tama Trojans of the WAMAC. The Pellet Dutch of the Little Hawkeye are the 2 seed, taking on the 7 seed Knoxville Panthers of the South Central Conference. And the 4 seed is the Des Moines Hoover Huskies of the Iowa Alliance Conference, who are hosting the 5 seed Grinnell Tigers of the Little Hawkeye Conference. The winner of this game will play the winner of the Des Moines Hoover versus Grinnell game on a Thursday night. The Raiders are 17-14 all time against the Bobcats, with the Raiders winning the last 3 in a row, including twice this season. One of the toughest things to do in sports is to defeat a team 3 times in a season, which is what the Raiders are trying to do here tonight. For my all-conference teams, I had Williamsburg junior Derek Weiskopf as the WAMAC West Player of the Year. I also had Kellen Cockrell, Landon Jepson, and Trey O'Neill on the first team all-WAMAC West, along with Weiskopf. Ethan Harmon is leading my second team all-WAMAC West. Kellen Cockrell also my Ullman's Furniture Bench Player of the Year. Whether you're looking for a bench or furnishing a large home or an efficiency condo, you're sure to find something to fit your needs at Ullman's Furniture. For the Benton Bobcats, I have Noah Frank on my first team all-WAMAC West and Blake and Evan Doherty on my second team all-WAMAC West. The Raiders defeated the Bobcats in Van Horn 76-58 earlier this season. The Raiders only had a 2-point lead, 17-15 at the end of the first quarter, but took control of the game in the second, outscoring the Bobcats 20-8 to lead by 14 at halftime, 37-23. The teams played even in the third quarter, with both teams scoring 16 points for a 53-39 Raider lead at the end of 3. The Raiders would outscore Benton by 4 in the fourth quarter, 23-19 for the 76-58 18-point win. This was the Raiders' worst shooting performance on the season, shooting 44% against Benton in Van Horn, 26-59 from the field, and 22%, 4 for 18 from three-point range, for an effective field goal percentage of 48%. The Raiders did get to the free throw line, going 18 for 24, their second highest totals on the season, only bested by their last game of the season at Marion, where they went 25 for 33 to beat the Marion Wolves, and not only WAMAC West Conference champions, but overall WAMAC champions. So WAMAC West and the overall WAMAC champions are the Williamsburg Raiders. The Raiders also grabbed 50% of their misses, their 6th highest total on the season, collecting 15 offensive rebounds, which was the 5th most offensive rebounds they had. The 76 points were the 3rd most points the Raiders scored in the season. For the Raiders, Derek Weiskopf was the Farm Bureau Player of the game, scoring 23 points and 10-19 shooting, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Also had 11 rebounds, 6 of them coming on the offensive end, 4 assists and 2 steals. Kellen Cockrell was the KC sub of the game. Casey's, the pizza place that sells gas and subs too. Cockrell had 5 points and 10 rebounds, with 5 of them coming on the offensive end. 2 blocks and a turnover. Trey O'Neill and Gavin Dorman also had good games for the Raiders. O'Neill had 10 points, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 for 1 from three-point range, and 5 for 6 from the free throw line. 1 rebound that came on the offensive end, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 turnovers. And Dorman scored 8 points on 3 of 6 shooting, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 1 of them offensive, 2 assists, a steal, and a turnover. For Benton, it was their 6th best shooting performance on the season, shooting a 41% from the field, 19 of 46, and 50%, 10 for 20 from three-point range, for an effective field goal percentage of 52%. The 10 three-point made were the 5th most for the Bobcats on the season, and the 50% three-point percentage is the 2nd best three-point percentage on the season. Only better three-point shooting game was shooting 52%, 12 of 23 at South Tama in their second to last game of the season. The problem for the Bobcats was their 16 turnovers, the third highest total on the season. Turned the ball over on 25% of their possessions, their sixth highest total. Of the Bobcats' 16 turnovers, 11 of them were steals by the Raiders, the fourth highest total against Benton on the season. The Raiders scoring 74 points was the second most points allowed by the Bobcats and the third highest offensive efficiency allowed, allowing the Raiders 114 points per 100 possessions. For the Bobcats, senior Noah Frank, who's on my first team All-Womack West, was the Farm Bureau player of the game, scoring 14 points, 6 of 7 from the field, 1 for 1 from three-point range, and 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Had 5 rebounds, one of them coming on the offensive end, 2 assists, a block, and a turnover. The KC sum of the game was senior Cale Kestner with 4 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a turnover. Senior Evan Doherty, who's on my second team All-Womack West, scored a team-leading 17 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 5 for 8 from three-point range, 1 rebound, and 1 block. In the second matchup here in the RAC, the Raiders Athletic Center, the Raiders scored a season-high 79 points in a 79-65 win. The Raiders had their 7th best shooting game of the season, shooting 51% from the field, 29 of 57, and 39% from the three-point range. Their third best three-point shooting game, scoring 7 of 13 efficiency of 125 points per 100 possessions, their third best offensive performance of the season. The only games that were better were a 126.9 offensive efficiency at Washington and a 128.5 at South Tama. Helping the Raiders' offensive efficiency was grabbing 57% of their misses, their second highest total on the season, collecting 16 offensive rebounds. The best offensive rebounding performance by the Raiders in the season was grabbing 61% of their misses, collecting 22 offensive rebounds at South Tama. The Raiders also had 13 steals, their second highest total of the season. The Raiders' high was 17 steals versus South Tama. For the Raiders, the Farm Bureau player of the game was Maddox Dorman, scoring at 15 points, 5 of 7 from the field, 4 for 5 from three-point range, and 1 for 2 from the free throw line, along with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 2 turnovers. The KC sub of the game was Kellen Cockrell with 12 points, 5 for 7 from the field.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you know you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
A block, 2 steals, and 2 turnovers. Ray O'Neal, Derek Weishoff, and Landon Jepson also had good games for the Raiders. For Benton, the game at the RAC was the third best offensive performance, scoring 64 points, the 5th most points scored against the Raiders for an offensive efficiency of 101.4. The Bobcats had their second best shooting game, shooting 47% from the field, 23 of 49, and 50% from three-point range, 12 for 24, just like they did in the first meeting in Van Horn. The 12 three-point made were the third highest total this season, making a season-high 13 threes against Mid-Prairie and at Waverly Shellrock. Benton again struggled with turnovers, turning the ball over 16 times, the third most on the season, turned the ball over on 25% of their possessions, with 13 of those turnovers being steals by the Raiders. For the Bobcats, the Farm Bureau player of the game and the KC sub of the game was senior Derek Steffen, who scored 15 points on 6 of 8 shooting, a perfect 3 for 3 from three-point range, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 4 turnovers. Easton Patterson and Blake Doherty also had good games for the Bobcats. Patterson scoring 9 points, had a rebound, 2 assists, and 3 steals, and Blake Doherty scoring 13 points and had 3 rebounds. Taking a look at the Capper Ford keys to the game, the Capper Ford key of the game for offense goes to the Raiders. The Raiders are averaging 68 points per game on the season for an offensive efficiency of 110 points per 100 possessions, both tops in the Womack. Leading the Raiders in points is Derek Weishoff at 18.9 points per game. Second in the Womack behind Marion's Brayson Lobby, who averaged almost 22 points a game. Landon Jepson averaging 12 points a game, and Ethan Harmon averaging over 11. Benton is averaging 58 points a game, 6th in the Womack, for an offensive efficiency of 91 points per 100 possessions with rank 7th. Bobcats came to the game leading the Wamak in field goals attempted, averaging 54 shots a game, just ahead of the Raiders, who average 53.7, but the Bobcats are only shooting 40%, which ranks 9th. Benton was one of the many opponents the Raiders played, like Waverly Shell Rock and Vinton Shellsburg, that like to shoot from three-point range, with 42% of their shots coming from behind the arc, averaging 23% from three-point range. Bobcats are shooting 34% from three-point range, which ranks 5th in the Wamak. In the 2 games against the Raiders on the season, Benton shot 22 of 44, 50%, with 47% of their shots coming from three-point range. The Bobcats want to pull off the upset here tonight at the rack. They're going to have to be on from behind the arc. Benton is led by senior Noah Frank, who's leading the Bobcats in scoring at just under 11 points a game, 15th in the Wamak in scoring, and was on my first team all-conference, followed by senior Blake Doherty at just over 10 points a game, and senior Evan Doherty just under 10 points a game. Noah Frank leads Benton in a three-point percentage, making 40% of his threes, taking 40% of his shots from three-point range, averaging almost 4 three-pointers a game. Blake and Evan Doherty both take more than half of their shots from behind the arc, with Blake Doherty ranking 9th in the Wamak in three-pointers attempted and three-pointers made, taking 56% of his shots from three-point range, averaging almost 5 three-pointers a game, shooting 33%, and twin brother Evan taking 50% of his field goal attempts from three-point range, averaging just over 4 three-pointers a night, shooting 38%. The twin brothers both have 33 of three-pointers made on the season. Coming off the bench is Wyatt Rinderneck. He's shooting leading 38% of his shots. Twin brothers both have 33 more than 3 three-pointers. At the game here in the rack, Bobcat shot 12 for 24 from three-point range, with Derek Steffen going a perfect 3 for 3, and Easton Patterson was 2 for 3. The Capper Ford key of the game for defense goes to the Raiders. The Raiders are the second best defensive team in the Wamak, allowing 55 points a game for a defensive efficiency of 89 points allowed per 100 possessions. Only Solon was better than the Raiders, allowing a Wamak low 52 points a game for a defensive efficiency of 86. Benton is allowing 61 points a game for a defensive efficiency of 96 points, which ranks 8th. Bobcats rank 2nd in the Wamak in field goal percentage defense, allowing their opponents to shoot 42% from the field. Only Marion held their opponents to a lower field goal percentage allowed at 41.5. Benton is 3rd in a three-point percentage allowed, allowing their opponents to shoot 31% from three-point range. Noah Frank, the 6'3 senior forward, is leading Benton in blocks with 16, ranking 4th in the Wamak. Kellen Cockrell is 3rd in the Wamak in blocks with 18, and Ethan Harmon is 7th with 13. The concern for the Raiders defensively is the three-point shooting by Benton. Raider opponents have shot 35% from three-point range, which ranks last in the Wamak on the season, and they're taking 42% of their shots from three-point range. The Bobcats shot 22 for 44, 50% from three-point range, taking 47% of their shots from three-point range versus the Raiders in the 2 games this season. The Capper Ford key of the game for the free throw line goes to the Raiders. The Raiders rank 5th in the Wamak at getting to the free throw line, getting the charity stripe at a 29.5 rate, averaging 16 free throw attempts per game, which ranks 2nd in the Wamak. Only Clear Creek Amana averaged more free throw attempts a game than the Raiders, averaging 16. The Raiders at 15.9, and Clear Creek Amana at 16. Derek Weiskopf is 3rd in the Wamak in free throws attempted, just averaging just under 5 free throws a game, and 2nd in the free throws made at 3.4. Landon Jepson also ranks 9th in the Wamak in free throws made, making 2.2 a game, and 15th in free throws attempted at 2.9. Benton's getting to the free throw line at a 22.5 rate, which ranks 10th in the Wamak. Only Vinton Shellsburg, who took 64% of their shots from three-point range, get to the free throw line at a lower rate, 17.8 than the Bobcats. The Raiders are also the 2nd best free throw percentage shooting team in the Wamak, shooting 69%. Benton ranks 10th in the Wamak, shooting 60%. Only Mount Vernon shoots it worse from the charity stripe than the Bobcats, shooting 57%. Poor free throw shooting is what cost the Mount Vernon Mustangs a win here at the rack against the Raiders. The Capper Ford key of the game for rebounding goes to the Raiders. Raiders are the top offensive rebounding team in the WAMAC, collecting 42% of their misses, grabbing a WAMAC leading 11.3 offensive rebounds. Derek Weiskopf leading the WAMAC in offensive rebounding. Team Kellen Cockrell is second. The Raiders are also the best defensive rebounding team in the WAMAC as well. The Capper Ford key of the game for turnovers goes to the Raiders. The Raiders do a better job of taking care of the ball than the Bobcats, and the Raiders also force more turnovers than the Bobcats. So it's a clean sweep of the Capper Ford keys to the game for the Raiders. Let's send it down to P announcer Brian Phillips for the starting lineup, sponsored by the Sundown. If you're looking for starters, a main course, or good beverages, stop on down to the Sundown. No matter when you'll visit, you'll enjoy great food and great company. Visit the Sundown Bar and Grill today to see what all the hype is about.
Good evening, Winter Sports fans, and welcome to the Warehouse Online for the 2022 Iowa High School Athletic Association's Class 2A Sub-37 Conference Number 3 quarterfinal. Tonight's contest is a WAMAC West Division matchup that features the team designated as the Belgians, who finished third in the WAMAC West with a conference record of 7 wins and an overall record of 7 wins and 14 losses. The Benton Community Bobcats. The home team who are the WAMAC West champions with a conference record of 14 wins and 1 loss and an overall record of 7 wins. The Williamsburg Raiders. The winner of tonight's contest advances to the Class 2A Sub-State 7 semifinal this Thursday, February 23rd, with the Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineup. First, the Bobcats, Ray Thompson Jr., John Owen John, for Ladies Senior, number 4, Noah Frank, for Ladies Senior, number 10, Evan Doherty, for Ladies Senior, number 15, Kale Kastner, for the Edward Senior, number 22, Blake Barney. Bobcats is hosted by Larry Carlson, who's assisted by Eric Freeman, Thomas Kramer, and Ryan Watt. And now the starting lineup for Raiders. Edward Senior, number 15, Landon Jackson. Edward Senior, number 21, Maddox Gorman. Edward Senior, number 23, Fred O'Neill. Edward Junior, number 24, Barrett Weisman. Edward Junior, number 23, Kellen Cockrell. The Raiders are coached by Brandon Winfrey, assisted by Josh Gray, Brian O'Neill, Mike Bennett, and Mike Jacobstein. Your officials for tonight's game, as assigned by the Iowa High School Athletic Association, are Stacy Dunbar, Bill Connolly, and Andy Peterson. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise to move your hats as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem is being performed by the Williamsburg Vocal Ensembles, Sirens, and in harmony under the direction of Catherine Birdie and Stephen Brand.
Let's take a look at the uniforms for the teams tonight, sponsored by Elite Sports. If you want your team to look its best, Elite Sports is a custom screen printing and embroidery company that's working with over 150 high schools and colleges in Iowa. They focused on athletics, but print for any business or occasion. Screen printing, embroidery, awards, and trophies, and custom artwork at Elite Sports. Their team of skilled in-house artists are available to assist with all of your needs. The Bobcats coming out in their road blue uniforms, yellow numbers and the white outlining, white and yellow striping down the side, and the Raiders in the home whites. With the yellow Raiders across the top, red numbers with the black outlining there. Bobcats win the opening tip. Kick out to the right-hand side. Ball fake by Kestner, driving on Cockrell. Gets the pass and the drive over to Noah Frank for the first basket of the evening. Bobcats come out man-to-man defense. Raiders also traditionally playing man-to-man. Alley-oop pass and a nice reverse layup on it by Derek Weiskopf to tie the ball game at 2. Nice alley-oop pass from deep from Trey O'Neill. Doherty being guarded by Landon Jepson. Top of the key, three-pointer by Kestner is good. Bobcats have shot the ball well from three-point range against the Raiders on the season. That's Kestner's first three-point make on the season. He's only attempted 2. It's going to be things like that that might give the Bobcats an opportunity for the upset here tonight. Three-point shooting from players you're not expecting it. Weiskopf with the answer there at the other end. 5-4 Bobcats lead. Down low on the block is Frank against Weiskopf. Kick out for the 3. It's good again, Evan Doherty. Bobcats start out 3 for 3, 2 for 2 from three-point range, and lead 8-4. Shot 50% in the 2 games against the Raiders. First miss coming on a three-pointer by Maddox Dorman. Resetting is Chumlin, being guarded by Maddox Dorman. Kestner at the elbow, being guarded by Cockrell. Switches off on Evan Doherty. Hands it over to Blake Doherty on the drive. Shot is short, gets the offensive rebound. Kicks it back out. His 3 by Evan Doherty is no good. Dorman down low to Cockrell. He's fouled. And they're going to call it a foul on Noah Frank. Cockrell going to the free throw line. Hits the first. Cockrell shooting 56% on the season. Gavin Dorman checking in for Landon Jepson. Ethan Harmon for Cockrell. Had to make that free throw to get that sub in there. 8-6. Bobcats lead early. Rays will full court pressure here. Maddox Dorman with the steal and the layup. The Raiders tied up. First turnover of the game. First steal by the Raiders. And that's something. Another steal by Dorman. Gets it to Trey O'Neill. His layup is good. Quick timeout taken by Coach Carlson. First steal by the Raiders. That's something. Another steal by Dorman. The Raiders get to Trey O'Neill. His layup is good. 6-0 run to take the lead at 10-8. And that's something that has plagued the Bobcats in the 2 meetings. They've shot the ball well, especially from three-point range against the Raiders, but it's been turnovers and live ball turnovers, steals by the Raiders that have caused problems for the Bobcats. In the 2 meetings, Benton has turned the ball over on 25% of their possessions. averaging 16 turnovers in the 2 games. Of those 16 turnovers, 12 of them are steals by the Raiders. We'll see if coming out of the timeout, if the Bobcats do a better job of handling that pressure. Raiders usually going with that 1-2-2 full court zone pressure. And that's the look they're giving coming out of the timeout as well, with Ethan Harmon at the point. Get it across, picked up his dribble, skip pass, another steal. This one by Gavin Dorman. He's going to take it in for the layup. There's Ethan Harmon to clean it up. So 3 straight turnovers by the Bobcats, 6 straight points off those turnovers for the Raiders. Noah Frank's shot is long, rebounded by Trey O'Neal. First miss from 3-point range for the Bobcats. O'Neal looking to drive on Evan Doherty. Maddox, Dorman swings it over to Weiskopf, now to Gavin Dorman. Over to Maddox, being guarded by Blake Doherty. Down to Weiskopf, driving to the middle of the lane, stop and pop, shot is good. Raiders extend their lead to a 14-8, now a 10-0 run by the Raiders. Need to get it across in about 2 seconds. Another steal. O'Neal up to Harmon. He lays it over the rim for the bucket. Now a 10-0 run by the Raiders. Need to get it across in about 2 seconds. Another steal. O'Neal up to Harmon. Raiders already with 9 field goals attempted, just to the Bobcats 6. And that's because of 4 turnovers by the Bobcats, all of them steals by the Raiders. That's what's triggered this now 12-0 run. Bobcats led 8-4. And now the Raiders lead by 8, 16-8. Raiders coming out in that full court pressure. Trey O'Neal now at the point of that. Looks like a little man-to-man full court pressure this time by the Raiders. Easton Patterson just gets it across. He drives, looking for the foul. Weiskopf just held his position. No foul. Weiskopf gets it back. His 3-pointer off the iron, no good. Three-pointer from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Weiskopf. Dorman in the right-hand corner, swinging around. Gavin Dorman now on the left block. Kick over to Trey O'Neal. His 3 is short, rebounded by Harmon. His jumper in the middle of the lane is good. Raiders' 3rd offensive rebound. Now 14-0 run by the Raiders. Oh, it looked like Frank was thinking about passing, but he got up to the rim and said, I'm going to go ahead and just lay that in. And that ends the Raiders' run. Weiskopf with the friendly home bounce. Raiders lead 20-10. Raiders in a 1-3-1 zone defense here. Looking to trap Thompson over there in that corner. Weiskopf and Dorman. Patterson with the spin around. Offensive rebound though. I'm going to call a kick. Jepson and Cockrell check in for Harmon and Maddox Dorman. With 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Raiders up 20-10. Looks like they're still in that 1-3-1. Got Kellen Cockrell at the point of that 1-3-1. Not sure the Bobcats, now they realize they only had 7 seconds on the shot clock on that inbounds play. It didn't reset. There's the first turnover by the Raiders. Frank underneath, up and under. Going to get a foul called on Cockrell. So Noah Frank will go to the free throw line for 2. He's the top free throw shooter for the Bobcats, shooting 74%. That one's off the back iron. 26 of 35 on the season was Frank. Second in the Bobcats on free throws made and free throws attempted behind Blake Doherty. Second free throw is perfect. That cuts the Raider lead down to 9. O'Neal gives up his dribble, looking for some help. Gets it from Weiskopf, being guarded closely by Easton Patterson. Finds O'Neal. He'll drive and get it taken away from him by Quincy Gilbert with the steal. Back-to-back Raider turnovers. Going to get a turnover on the travel before the pass went out of bounds. That's the 5th turnover of the first quarter here on the Bobcats. With Maddox Dorman on the bench, Trey O'Neal running the point. Hand off to Weiskopf. Again, being tightly guarded by Easton Patterson. Get some help from Gavin Dorman. High pass, looking for Cockrell down low, off his fingers, a little too tall. 3 straight turnovers on the Raiders. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Raiders up by 9, 20-11. Raiders in that 1-3-1 defense here. Ball poked away by Weiskopf, stolen away by Jepson. That's the 5th steal on the 6th turnover. O'Neal was thinking about the 3-pointer there, but he got picked up by Wyatt Rinderneck. Gets it to Gavin Dorman. His left-hand runner is good. Nice dump down entry feed. 22-11. Raiders' largest lead of the night, 11 points. Ball kicked out of bounds. Shot clock is off. 23 seconds remaining. Raiders switch to a 2-3 zone here now on the inbounds. Patterson shot rims out. Weiskopf on the drive, gets fouled by Patterson. That's the second team foul on the Bobcats. That's his first. Shumlin and Blake Doherty back into the ball game for Patterson and Cale Kessner. Raiders with 7 seconds remaining. They'll inbound it into the backcourt. Trey O'Neal with 5. Cockrell turnaround from the left elbow is no good as time expires in the first quarter. So Raiders lead by 11 at the end of the first quarter. They were down 8-4. And then went on a 14-0 run to lead by 10, 18-8. And lead by 11 now, 22-11. That's one thing we saw new this year was that 35-second shot clock. And this is why they instituted the shot clock, was for the playoffs. They don't want teams holding the ball like what happened in a high school basketball game in Oklahoma where both teams just held the ball and the final score was 4-2. So comparing it to last year where there was no shot clock to the shot clock this year, possessions went up by just over 3 possessions from this year to last year. Field goal attempts up almost 5 over last year, but the field goal percentage up just 0.5%. 3 of those extra shots were 3-pointers. 3-point percentage up just over 0.5%. Scoring up almost 6 points. Offensive efficiency up almost 5 points compared to last year. So that's the big difference. We'll see now here in the playoffs. You can't just hold the ball where team looking to make the upset bid. Bobcats go up 8-4 and sit there and try to hold on that lead. Can't happen this year. Cockrell underneath to Weiskopf. His shot off the board, no good. Blake Doherty on the drive, stopped by Landon Jepson. Quincy Gilbert being guarded by Cockrell. Doherty. Now Winger. Gilbert will try the three off the back iron. You're going to get a foul on Cockrell. A scramble for the rebound, which was rebounded by Dorman. And he collides with Jepson. All that happening, but the foul was on Cockrell. That's his second team foul, second personal foul. Almost stolen away by Jepson. Driving into the middle of the lane is Blake Doherty. The Bobcats take advantage of that extra possession. Cut the Raider lead down to 9, 22-13. Raiders running the weave out front. Dorman's three-pointer is no good. Rebounded away by the Bobcats. Looking to cut further into that Raider lead. Chumland, no good. Quickly up the floor, Harmon. Skip pass over to O'Neal. His layup is good and fouled. Call on Blake Doherty. That's the third team foul. O'Neal, the top free throw shooter for the Raiders, makes it. Shooting 81% on the season. Raiders come out in that 1-2-2 full court zone press. Doherty tipped away by O'Neal out of bounds. And they're going to call a 10-second violation. Shot clock's down to 24 seconds. Nobody on the Bobcats had possession of the ball in the offensive end, so that is an automatic 10-second violation. So that counts as a team turnover on the Bobcats. Their first turnover here of the second quarter, committed to 6 turnovers, 5 of them steals by the Raiders in the first quarter. Dorman at the left elbow, bounce pass to Jepson, kicks it out to Harmon. Skip pass from Weiskopf from the right corner out to Dorman. Tough entry angle on that entry pass. And O'Neal on the drive is going to get the bump call. That's on Colby Winger. That's his first. Fourth team foul on the Bobcats. O'Neal will trigger underneath. Gets it to Maddox Dorman. He'll take a three. Long off the iron, but rebounded by Harmon. Jepson will stand back for three. That's long too. Quickly down the floor are the Bobcats. And finding Lane Kestner right there at the basket. The Raiders not matching up on the defensive end, coming off that fast break opportunity by the Bobcats, and they cut the Raiders' lead down to 10 and 25-15. So they look at the numbers from the 35-second shot clock over to O'Neal. The slowest team was
his layup is good and foul.
They were in the Walmack at averaging 54 possessions. And the fastest team was Makokata. Both those teams leaving the Walmack for the River Valley Conference. They averaged 69 possessions. So that's a range of almost 15 possessions per game between the slowest team and the fastest team. This year, the slowest team was Solon, averaging just over 60 possessions. The fastest team was Vinton-Shellsburg at 65 possessions, a range of just under 5 possessions per game between the teams. So as you'd kind of expect, that range with the 35-second shot clock between teams is going to dramatically decrease. Long three-pointer by Weiskopf off the front iron. He tips it, though, to Harmon. His shot no good. Another rebound tipped by Gavin Dorman to Maddox. The Raiders will reset the offense here with their third shot attempt here. Shot clock down to 15 seconds. Harmon gives up his dribble, gets some help from Weiskopf. Now we're under 10. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Weiskopf driving to the right. Shot off the front iron. Chumlin to Frank. His up and under is good. Bobcats cut the Raider lead down to 8. Little mini 4-0 run by the Bobcats. Raiders lead was 12. Dorman on the drive, high off the glass is no good. I think that three-point attempt by Doherty was blocked. Offensive rebound, though, by Evan Doherty, and he gets fouled by Harmon. Raiders shot 10 for 15 in that first quarter. So far, 1 for 9 here in the second quarter. And that's allowed the Bobcats to cut the Raider lead now. Down to 7, 25-18 with one more free throw here for Evan Doherty. 61% free throw shooter on the season. Comes up short. Offensive rebound, though, by Lane Kestner. And that rolls in. Third offensive rebound already here by the Bobcats in the second quarter. And he had 2 the entire first quarter. Raider leads cut down to 5. Landon Jepson being guarded by Doherty. Over to O'Neal, being guarded by Chumlin. Cockrell back on the floor with 2 fouls. Three-point attempt by O'Neal is off the iron. And the rebound goes out of bounds to the Bobcats. The Raiders now 1 for 10 on the quarter. 0 for 5 from three-point range. The Bobcats look to cut in that Raider lead even further. Frank cutting Doherty. Nice job by Cockrell to maintain verticality there and get the block and the foul. Tim Thompson checks into the game, as does Cale Kestner. Chumlin and Lane Kestner head to the bench. Second personal foul on Blake Doherty, 5th team foul. Dorman gets a screen from Weiskopf. Skip pass over to Jepson. O'Neal gets a screen from Cockrell, looking for pick and roll. Looking for Cockrell down that left block. Shot clock down to 10. O'Neal down to Cockrell, 5 seconds. He gets double teamed. Dorman from the top of the key, rims in, out, and back in again. That stops the run there by the Bobcats. 28-20 now the Raiders lead. Nice shot by Evan Doherty, catching, rising up over top of Derek Weiskopf. Didn't want to pick up a foul, just maintained his verticality there. O'Neal driving, drop pass looking for Cockrell. And on the loose ball, we're going to get a foul. That's going to be on Cockrell. That's his third. Foul on the Raiders, 3 of those 4 on Cockrell. They lead down to 6. Frank with the 3-pointer. Raider lead down to 3. Raiders led by 12, a 25-13, 12-3 run here by the Bobcats. Minute and a half to go here until halftime. Harmon from the right elbow comes up short. Bobcats a chance to cut it down to 1 or potentially tie it with a 3. Thompson with the left-hand layup. Nice drop pass, 28-27. Raider lead down to 1. 14-2 run now by the Bobcats. 1 minute to go until halftime. Harmon hands it off to Trey O'Neill, being guarded by Frank. Jepson fires it a little too hot for Harmon. Wasn't expecting the pass. That goes out of bounds. Now the Bobcats have the ball and are looking to grab their lead, their first lead, potentially, since they led 8-6. When the Raiders went on their 14-0 run. A game of runs here tonight. Frank looking to drive on Harmon. He gets the shot, the fall, and the foul. Bobcats take the lead, 29-28. And Frank to the free throw line. He hits the free throw. (30-28). A 17-3 run here by the Bobcats. Harmon sets the screen for O'Neill. Nice back cut by Jepson. Rims off. Rebounded by Weiskopf. That rims off. Out of bounds off of Jepson. Shot clock is off, so the Bobcats have the remainder of the half here, 29.9 until halftime. Inbounded to Patterson. He's fouled by Maddox Dorman. That's the 16th foul, first personal foul on Maddox Dorman. Bobcats will be in the 1-1 on the next Raider foul. Gavin Dorman quickly checking in for Ethan Harmon. And Blake Doherty checks back into the game with 2 fouls. Inbounded to Thompson. Cale Kessner being guarded by O'Neill. Gets some help. Tipped away, stolen by Jepson. And they're going to call the foul on Thompson. Only the second turnover of the quarter. First steal by the Raiders. Now Coach Carlson's going to take Doherty out on defense, not wanting to pick up that third foul. Raiders have 16.6 left here to try to tie the game here at halftime or take the lead with a 3. Skip pass. Down to 5 seconds. Maddox Dorman. Forced out of bounds by Patterson. That'll be a 1-1. That's the 7th foul on the Bobcats. That'll send Maddox Dorman to the free throw line for a 1-1 opportunity. Dorman only 16 free throw attempts on the season, a 69% free throw shooter. Perfect on the first one. That puts the Raiders down by 1. 30-29, this to tie the ball game up at halftime. Good on that one as well. We are all tied at 30. A long pass. Tipped away by Gavin Dorman. Stolen by Landon Jepson. Long three-point heave is no good. So the Bobcats ran out to the quick
playing man-to-man.
8-4 lead to lose by 4 in the first quarter.
Raiders then answer and win on a 14-0 run to lead by 10, 18-8. Built that up to a 12 points, 25-13. And then the Bobcats went on a 7-0 run. And overall 17-3 run. And the Raiders scored the final 2 points there on the free throws by Maddox Dorman to tie the game at halftime at 30. So we'll send it over to a word from our sponsors for halftime.
On the left block. Kick over to Trey O'Neill. His three is short. Rebounded by Harmon. His jumper in the middle. Quickly up the floor, Harmon. Skip pass over to O'Neill. His layup is good and foul. O'Neill down to Cockroach, 5 seconds. He gets double teamed. Dorman from the top of the key, rims in, out, and lead down to 6. Frank with the 3-point. Bobcats a chance to cut it down to 1 or potentially tie it with a 3. Thompson with the left hand on their 14-0 run. A game of runs here tonight. Frank looking to drive on Harmon. He gets the shot to fall.
Hello Raiders, Nathan King here, Activities Director. We're extremely excited about this project and we hope you are too.
Hi, my name is Shannon Finn. I'm a junior here at Williamsburg High School. I'm most excited for phase 1 of this project, the weight room floor and equipment. This will help all athletes here at WHS.
Hi, my name is McKenna Hughes. I'm a sophomore here at WHS, and I'm most excited for phase 2, the turf, where everyone can train all year round for all activities.
Hi, my name is Carly Rich. I'm most excited for phase 3 of this project when the new batting cages come in.
Be on the lookout in the coming weeks in the mail and on social media to see how you can become a partner with us on this project.
Unbelievable amount of devastation. I've never seen anything like it.
We had a beautiful barn that was gone in 20 minutes.
Farm Bureau stepped up right away and said, hey, we got you and we'll be there for you.
We were taken care of. Now we could get on to repairing and rebuilding.
I tell everybody about Farm Bureau.
We're fortunate to say we have good coverage with good people doing it.
Contact Shannon Slockett and Wendy Yelland in Williamsburg today.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Lillis Insurance Agency in Williamsburg if auto owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Now that we're married, we need help merging our finances.
Choose from these options: investing, insurance, retirement planning, college funding.
I have so many questions.
Here is a link to our FAQ page. Was this information helpful?
Go with no.
Sometimes humans are just more helpful.
I'm sure you have questions.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. Insurance, financial planning, all in one place.
Contact Jared Klosterboer and Amanda Hohenschel in Williamsburg today.
Ullman's Fine Home Furnishings has been turning ideas into beautiful homes for over 86 years.
Quality, style, and a fun shopping experience are what Ullman's is known for.
Come visit Ullman's in Williamsburg and see their vast selection.
And remember, there's always free delivery. Stop at Ullman's Fine Home Furnishings in Williamsburg today and stay as long as you like.
Well, we had our first baby.
It is beautiful or handsome.
Oh, it's a boy.
We're interested in life insurance.
And we bought a bigger car.
Yeah.
Bigger car. Here is your plan. Goodbye.
When protecting your future, count on a human. Only a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent will sit down with you for a super check and together create a plan that works for you. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Shannon Slockett and Wendy Yelland in Williamsburg today.
Williamsburg Dental Health Clinic is a proud sponsor of Williamsburg Schools and Raider Athletics, serving Williamsburg, Iowa County, and surrounding communities since 2005. Our office employs all kinds of smile experts. Our skilled doctors, Megan Greer and Erica Takanami, take pride in providing the best quality of dentistry for our patient family and stand behind the care they provide. Our fun team of assistants are here to talk you through procedures and answer any questions to put you at ease. Our team of caring hygienists aim to keep you comfortable as they build a relationship of trust with every patient that steps into our office. Call our front office to get scheduled as a new patient or resume your care. Williamsburg Dental Health Clinic, comfortable, friendly care for your smile. Because when you smile, we smile. Located at 827 South Highland Street. Call us today at 319-668-9808 to experience the difference.
Quick look at our halftime stats. Hot shooting by the Benton Bobcats. And in the first half, they went 12 for 24, 8 for 12 in the second quarter. So 50% in the first half. Shot the ball well in the two meetings against the Raiders as well. Made 3 3-pointers, shooting 37% from three-point range, 3 for 8. Only 33% of their shots coming from three-point range. Below their season average, below what they've done in the two meetings against the Raiders. Made their first two, so only 1 for 6 from three-point range since. But you add that into their field goal percentage, that gives them a field goal percentage of 56%. And the Bobcats also doing a good job of matching the Raiders on the offensive boards, grabbing 42% of their misses, scoring 30 points for an offensive efficiency of an even 100. The issue was the turnovers for the Bobcats, turning the ball over on 30% of their possessions with 9 turnovers, 7 of those being steals by the Raiders. Raiders go 12 for 30, so matching the Bobcats there with those 12 field goals made. On 30 attempts, shooting 40%, only made 1 of 9 3-pointers, 11% from three-point range for an effective field goal percentage of 42%. Raiders a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line. The Bobcats 3 for 5. Raiders with 7 offensive rebounds, but since they missed more shots, that's the same 41% of their misses that they were able to collect. Raiders doing a better job of keeping control of the ball with 5 turnovers, turning the ball over on 17% of their possessions. So Raiders getting those extra shots due to turnovers, but unable to take advantage of those extra attempts, not shooting the ball well. 40% in the first half, the Bobcats shooting 50%. And that's what allowed the Bobcats then to come back. They were down 12, and now we're all tied up. Bobcats will have the first possession here of the third quarter. Three-pointer in the quarter comes up short, but Doherty collects his rebound and put back in by Frank. So Bobcats doing a good job on the offensive rebounds. Dorman being guarded by Chumlin, drives, kicks it over to Weiskopf. He has the answer. We're tied again. Same 5 stars for both teams on the floor. Chumlin looking for help. Finally gets it from Elaine Kessner. Doherty on the drive, kicks it over to Frank, being guarded by O'Neal. They're going to get him for an offensive foul. That's his second personal, first team foul of the second half. So Chumlin, Frank, Evan Doherty, Kessner, Lane Kessner, and Blake Doherty, the 5 on the floor for the Bobcats. The Raiders with Maddox Dorman, Trey O'Neal, Landon Jepson, Ethan Harmon, and Derek Weiskopf. Weiskopf posting up down on the block. His turnaround jumper is good. And the Raiders regain the lead, 34-32. Doherty on the drive. He gets all the way to the basket. Had to alter his shot. Comes up short. And thrown down by Weiskopf. (36-32), a Raiders lead by 4. Frank being guarded by Weiskopf. Swings it up to Chumlin at the top of the key. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound, chased down in the corner by Frank. Gets it to Kessner. Nice no-look pass to Chumlin. Over to Doherty. His shot is blocked. Rebounded by Evan Doherty. He puts it back in. Harmon thought about it, takes it, and hits the 3. Raiders struggled shooting 2 for 15 in that second quarter. They come out at halftime. They're a perfect 4 for 4, and now lead a 39-34. And they're going to get a kick on the steal attempt by Weiskopf. Doherty on the drive. He gets all the way to the basket. Dorman checks in to alter his shot. Harmon. Comes up short. Usually when you think about and thrown down and don't take them, that usually ends up in a miss. Harmon thought about it, reloaded, and took it and hit it. Weiskopf. That's only the second three-point make for the Raiders. Frank in the right-hand corner being guarded by Weiskopf. Now Kessner driving against Dorman, gets it to Evan Doherty. His bank shot is good. 39-36. Weiskopf will rise up and hit. Perfect 5 for 5 for the Raiders coming out of the break. Raiders have already scored more points here in the third quarter than they did the entire second quarter. Kessner over to Frank. His 3 off the back iron. Rebounded, tipped out to Frank. And they're going to call a foul on the drive. The third offensive rebound already in the quarter for the Bobcats. That's 8 total offensive rebounds. And here Coach Nuke yelling everybody needs to box out. Only had 6.5 per game, and Blake Doherty with the 3 out of the corner on the inbounds. 41-39. Maddox Dorman looking for the answer. Raiders a perfect 6 for 6 in the quarter. Stolen away by Weiskopf. Poked away by Kessner. Jepson on the block, no good. A tip, no good. Frank over in the corner, driving. Shot off the back iron by Gilbert. Weiskopf for three, it's good. Raiders a perfect 3 for 3 in the quarter from three-point range. They were only 1 for 9 in the entire first half. Scored 8 points in the entire second quarter. They've already scored 17 points already here in the third quarter. They were 2 for 15. Weiskopf for three, it's good. Out of the corner on the inbound, three-point range. Bobcats not shooting 1-39. Grabbing 3 offensive rebounds for those extra opportunities. Weiskopf will rise up and hit. 1 for 2 from three-point range. Coach yelling everybody needs to box out. Only had 6.5. So 9 points already scored by the game. And the entire first quarter, 19 in that hot shooting right second quarter. Being guarded by Weiskopf. Benton. And we were tied there at 30. Against Dorman. Gets it to Evan Doherty. His bank shot is good. All cylinders. 39-36. Weiskopf will rise up and hit. Perfect 5 for 5 for the Raiders coming out of the break. Coach Carlson down to 2 timeouts left. The Raiders do not use that full court pressure that they normally do. Looks like they're in a 2-3 zone on this possession here. Thompson over to Cale Kessner, skip pass. Over to Gilbert, his 3 off the front iron. Rebounded by Cockrell and fouled by Patterson. Second team foul in the second half. Wyatt Rinderneck to check in at the next dead ball opportunity. Weiskopf swinging around, three-pointer, hits nothing but net. Raiders build their lead back up to 11. Kessner being guarded by Dorman, finds Gilbert down low. And on the drive to the basket, he was fouled. Fouled by Cockrell. That's going to be the 4th foul on Cockrell. Landon Jepson, Ethan Harmon set the check in. Gilbert's free throw is no good. Gilbert only 1 for 3 from the free throw line on the season. So his 4th and 5th attempts here. Second one is off, no good. Rebound taken away by Weiskopf. Raiders lead by 11, 50-39. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Off to Landon Jepson. On the left block, jump stop in the lane. Left-handed jump hook is good. Tie game at halftime. Benton led, scoring the first bucket of the half, coming out of half, 32-30. Benton lead. So now that's an extended 22-7 run by the Raiders to now have their largest lead of the night, 13 points. Now here's that 1-2-2 full court pressure that the Raiders like to use. Bobcats break it. Rinderneck over to Thompson. His 3 is long, no good. Rebound chased down by Jepson. Weiskopf for the 3 off the front iron. Rebounded by Gavin Dorman. They're going to call a hold on Benton. That's the first miss from 3-point range for the Raiders here in the third quarter. Evan Doherty checking in for Easton Patterson. Ethan Harmon, the trigger underneath. Looking for Weiskopf, alley-oop. Had to come back down and collect it. Going back up again, he's fouled. Weiskopf misses the first free throw. Get one more. Perfect on the second. (53-39), Raiders lead. There's that 1-2-2 full court pressure by the Raiders. And Doherty and Chumlin get it across. Chumlin down to Frank on the block, being guarded by Dorman. Nice flash in the middle of the paint by Thompson. His jump hook is good. 53-41, Raiders lead by 12. Dorman on the drive to the basket. His banker is good. 55-41, Raiders back up to 14 points. Frank on the drive. Little finger roll, George Gervin style. Comes up short. Rebounded, taken away by Harmon. O'Neal on the drive, nice drop pass to Gavin Dorman. His little jumper in front of the basket is good. The Raiders' largest lead, 16 points. Dorman on the drive to the basket. Shooting here in the third quarter by the Raiders. Frank on the block, coming off the heels of that second quarter when they were 2 for 15. Benton led 32-30. 27-9 in round three-pointer hits quarter by the Raiders. Weiskopf for three, it's good. Out of the corner on the inbound. 7 points here in the third quarter. 41-39. Maddox Dorman looking for the answer. Raiders doing a little man-to-man full court pressure on this possession here. Doherty. There by Trey O'Neal. 2 seconds to get it across, just due with 1 second left. Doherty, nice pass out to Frank, and he'll do another finger roll. This time it goes. 57-43. Watching old YouTube videos of George the Iceman Gervin and the San Antonio Spurs. O'Neal, a little kick over to Harmon. Tough baseline jumper there. Mid-range game. Thrown away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. Get Chumlin for the charge. Foul picked up by Landon Jepson. Both teams thrown away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. Team fouls here in the third quarter. The crowd still buzzing after that windmill dunk by Weiskopf. He gets the pass from O'Neal. 4 seconds on the shot clock. He hits a three. Thrown away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. Thrown away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. Raiders scored 30 points in the entire first half. They score 32 points away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. That's why Derek Weiskopf, the best player in the WAMAC, the WAMAC Player of the Year, at least my WAMAC Player of the Year. Thrown away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. You get the 3-pointers, you get the offensive rebound, you get the defensive rebound, and you get the steals. Whatever category you want to talk about, Weiskopf does it and does it well. That's why he's going to be back-to-back Wamak West Player of the Year. So an incredible offensive performance by the Raiders in the third quarter, going a 13 for 17 from the field, 5 for 6 from three-point range. Not the only thing that the Raiders and Weiskopf did wrong is they missed a free throw. 6 for 14 for the Bobcats in that third quarter, 1 for 4 from three-point range, missing both of their free throws. Bobcats quickly grabbed 3 offensive rebounds, but after Coach Knoop told everybody to start boxing out, they did, and only 3 offensive rebounds for the Bobcats in that third quarter. The Raiders will start out with possession here in the fourth. Weiskopf gets the ball, nice bounce pass feed from Jepson down the block going up, and he gets fouled. Fouls on Frank, that's his third. That's the 5th. Team foul on the Bobcats. Weiskopf misses the first, so he'll have 1 more. 72% on the season. Hits the second. Leads the Raiders in free throws made, free throws attempted. There's our first point of the fourth quarter, building the Raiders' lead up to 20 points. Chumlin fouled by Dorman on the drive. He'll go to the free throw line. Chumlin 67%, 18 for 27 on the season. Good on that one. And there's the first points of the fourth quarter for the Bobcats. Hits them both. 63-45. Bobcats not employing any full court pressure quite yet. Dorman gets a screen, low pass. They're going to call Dorman for a travel as he hopped in the lane. Thrown away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. Chumlin driving on Dorman. Looking to pass to Patterson, who flashed to the box, but the ball was tipped out of bounds. Chumlin to trigger from underneath. Gets it to Doherty. He drives into the middle of the lane. His jumper is good over Trey O'Neill. Bobcats cut the lead down to 16. Harmon driving. His runner in the lane is good. Patterson off board and no good. Going to get a push. Thrown away by Weiskopf. Windmill dunk. Push is going to be on Lane Kestner. That's his 5th, team 6th foul. So the Raiders will be in the bonus for the remainder of the ball game. Harmon in the right-hand corner, looking for Weiskopf down on the block. Turnaround jumper off back iron, rebounded by Doherty. Chumlin quickly into the offensive end, ball poked away by Jepson. He gets it to Dorman. Alley-oop, couldn't quite finish it, was Weiskopf. And here's Patterson, and the shot's blocked by Weiskopf. Misses the dunk on one end. He's the first guy back on the other end for the block. Now stolen away by Dorman, and he's fouled by Kestner. Cockrell checks in. He's got 4 fouls. That's the 7th team foul on the Bobcats. So Dorman going back to the free throw line. 2 for 2 on the night. That one rims out no good. Rebounded by Thompson. Quickly back down the floor. Frank, no good. Rebounded by Thompson, put back in. (67-49) Raiders lead. Little jumper by Thompson, no good. Rebound kicked out to Frank. His is short. Rebound taken away by Dorman. O'Neal, no good. Going to call a foul out front before the shot. Gets it to Doherty. He drives in the middle of the lane. His jumper is good. Foul on Weiskopf, his first. Team's fourth. Inbound to Thompson, being guarded by Cockrell. Shot's blocked. Trey O'Neal. Around jump hook. Cockrell doing a good job of staying straight up, playing with 4 fouls. Thompson at the left elbow, hands it over to Frank. Poked away by Weiskopf, stolen, throws it down. Frank, poked away by Weiskopf, stolen, throws it down. 70-49, here come the Raiders again. Weiskopf for 3, rims in and out. Frank on the drive against Dorman. Again, that finger roll is good. 70-51. Weiskopf being guarded by Frank. Cockrell on the block. He goes up through Thompson, and it's good. The Raiders scored 76-79 points against the Bobcats. Here comes Trey O'Neal. Oh, he misses the dunk. Doherty gets it to Frank on the drive, stolen away by Dorman, ended up with Doherty. Three-pointer by Evan Doherty is good. (72-54). Going to call Gavin Dorman, setting an illegal screen. That'll be a turnover on the Raiders, their third turnover here in the quarter. And Dawson Furman checking in. Grant Hooker. Long three-point attempt. Comes up short. Hooker gets the handoff from Cockrell, being guarded by Rinderneck. Nice crossover, but the ball is kicked by Frank, looking for Gavin Dorman there on the block. Raiders will inbound, 23 seconds to go on the shot clock. Jepson gets it right into Gavin Dorman on the block. Turns around, everybody left him. He takes one hop dribble and right to the basket. 74-54, Raiders lead by 20. Frank being guarded by Gavin Dorman. Three-pointer by Winger is good. (74-57), the Raiders lead. Hooker gets a screen from Furman. He gets to the top of the key, driving on Chumland. Dorman at the right elbow, drop pass to Cockrell. Hooker moved that left pivot foot before he made the move. Sophomore Ryan Spina checking into the game for senior Noah Frank. Three-point attempt comes up short for Gilbert. Gavin Dorman on the drive to the basket. Shumlin driving on Jepson. Rebounded by Cockrell. Micah Gehringer, Bryson Region. John Eichhorn checking into the game, so Coach Newt just called a timeout to get those subs in. Minute and a half to go. You want to give your starters as much rest as you can. Next game on Thursday. Hooker driving the baseline, stepped on the end line there, turned over. Eichhorn guarding Winger, over to Chumlin, being guarded by Weegan. Long three-pointer, Ritternecht is good. (76-60). Micah Gehringer driving on Chumlin. Over to Hooker, down to 15 on the shot clock, 30 in the game. Weegan fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Rinderneck picks up the foul. 8th team foul, so this will be a one-on-one opportunity. First free throws in varsity action for Bryson Weegan, the sophomore. This is 6th varsity game. Free throw rim's no good. Nice back cut. Chumlin, the good, and fouled. (76-62), down to a 14-point lead, 21.9 remaining. Chumlin, free throw rims in. 76-63. Hooker just needs to bring it across the midcourt stripe. Gehringer thought about it, looked over to the bench. And does not put up the final shot there of the game. And your final score, Raiders 76 and the Benton Bobcats 63. Raiders 14 points in that fourth quarter, 20 by the Bobcats. 7 for 17 shooting by the Bobcats, 6 for 11 for the Raiders in that fourth quarter. So the Raiders led by 19 at the end of 3, built it up to 21 points, 72-51. And the Bobcats close out the game on a 12-4 run for the 13-point differential for the final, 76-63. So for the Bobcats, our Farm Bureau player of the game is Noah Frank, who had a 16 points, 7 of 13 shooting, had 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And for the Raiders, Your Farm Bureau player of the game is Derek Weiskopf. Had 31 points on 13 of 20 shooting, 3 for 7 from three-point range, 6 rebounds, a block, and a steal. So a good all-around performance by Weiskopf to get that Farm Bureau player of the game. Also, Maddox Dorman had a good game. Ethan Harmon. Gavin Dorman all chipping in with good games for the Raiders. So the Bobcats ran out to the early lead, led by 4, 8-4. Raiders answered with a 14-0 run to lead by 10, 18-8. The first quarter, 22-11. Built that up to as large as 12 points, 25-13. And then the Bobcats took a 30-28 lead. So that was a 17-3 run then by the Bobcats. Raiders tied it up with 2 free throws at the end of the first half by Maddox Dorman to tie it at 30. Bobcats scored the first bucket of the second half to lead 32-30. And then the Raiders ran out and went on an extended 32-11 run to lead by 19 points at the end of the third quarter, and built that up to 20 points. Doherty, nice pass out to Frank, and he'll do another thing. As large as 21, 70-49, 72-51 as well. Raiders lead by Bobcats close out the game then on a 12-4 run for the 13-point final, 76-63. The Raiders will advance to the second round of the state playoffs. We'll play the winner of the 4-seed Des Moines Hoover Huskies and the 5-seed Grinnell Tigers on Thursday night right here at the Rack. We'll also have the game on our YouTube channel starting at 7 o'clock. For Robbie Allison, Cooper Bott doing stats, Kaya Tegetz running the video board, and all the technical assistance from Veronica Heitman and Todd Yelland. I'm Robert Shabansky. Three-pointer. Internet is good. YouTube channel for tonight's first-round state playoff game between the Raiders and the Benton Bobcats with Doherty from the Rack, the Raiders Athletic Center. Three-pointer by Evan.
Weiskopf will rise up and hit. Coach Knoop yelling everybody needs to box
out. Only had 6.5 per game. Out of the corner on the inbounds.
41-39. Maddox Dorman looking for the answer. Weiskopf for 3, it's good.
Chumbling down to Frank on the block, being guarded by Dorman. Nice flash in the middle of the paint. 53-41. Raiders lead by 12.
Over Dorman on the drive.
Just do it. 1 second left. Doherty, nice pass.
To Frank and he'll
call.